Even though I kinda wish I was already streaming for that conversation.
Stop putting shit on my walls that I didn't want there. Lamb.
There.
What do you think? Oh no, I'm not streaming it anymore.
Leave it, please. Getting up Shell's stream full. Muting up. Right, let's stream. Wait, now that you have yours, can I show you mine or is that still no?
No, because you might have stuff in there that I don't have yet.
I'm gonna say, yeah, actually, never mind, I can show you.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to think on it. I have to think on it.
Oh, yeah. But, okay.
Yes.
We immediately walk in.
Yes.
Beautiful tree. And then we have this side, which is all academic, and we have small pot. Die, Jesus. Oh, she's straight up dying over there. She choked on those panties. The villain, the panty villain strikes again.
A villainous punk.
Oh god, you guys are gonna give me the death on me, guys. Especially you,
Yep.
Jen.
Yep, probably.
Yeah, we all know you don't care for me.
I said especially you, Jesh. I said both of you were gonna kill me.
Oh, apparently
Yeah.
that's true.
What did the pussy do? Ugh.
It's all that lint.
No.
Lint liquor. Yeah, from the panties.
Come here. So yeah. We have that, and then of course we have that up there. And then through our corridor.
Okay.
Yeah.
You pretty much got that area, you pretty much got everything that I have in that area.
Yeah.
So I can practically show you that area and one other area that area. That's
I'm
all-
more
I
observant
said-
than you.
You're more observant than me.
Yes, I will see something in the freaking corner and be like, oh well, now I know I get that.
I think we have the same level of observance. Then.
No.
That's
How
like
many
saying
things?
you
How
want the
many
same
things have
level
I
of
picked up?
violence as me.
No, how many things have I picked up on that you're even unaware of?
Let's.
I'm switching seats.
Okay.
Hello! We are
for
playing
fuck's-
Selene Apoptosis. Apoptosis. I don't know. Some weird name. Language, English, yes, confirmed. This is Selene Apoptosis. Apoptosis? Apoptosis. Yeah, that. So apparently this is a free visual novel that, by their words, is a mythic thriller visual novel. Whatever the fuck that means. It's supposed to be like a gave the impression of like a dark romance visual novel, but I don't know. It was free. It looked interesting enough to try for a free game. The 18 plus adult pack is extra DLC money, so I should be safe on TOS violations. To my knowledge, I haven't looked at anything of this. I have absolutely zero idea what the fuck this is or where this is going. So I am streaming the experience so anyone else can come back and watch. So we are prompted by a cute little emote fox cat girl thing here. For your best experience and to support the developer, consider getting the DLCs. How about I will decide after I play the fucking game.
If you end up getting the DLC, you should stream that in one of your.
I have an 18 plus chat.
I would need access to that.
Do you want access to that? Because there's naked pictures of me.
Eh, that's fine with me. Nudity doesn't bother me as much as people think it does.
I'm not saying that nudity bothers you, but some people get freaked out when they see specific people. Like Fish, I asked her if she would draw me a naked anime girl body pillow image to use.
Okay.
And she's like,
Yeah,
I don't feel comfortable drawing my friends naked. So it's not like she's fine with nudity in general, but she doesn't want specifically to see.
I actually don't mind, honestly.
So
I actually don't mind.
okay, well there you go. So now you can go creep on my pictures. Anyway, so Selene Apoptosis. How do you say this word?
I'm actually gonna also shut up. I just looked it up. Okay.
Apoptosis.
Apoptosis?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Because there's one consonant here, so that should be a hard A. So it should be A pop, because there's two consonants, and then there's one consonant, so it should be apoptosis. Apoptosis. Apoptosis.
What?
Apoptosis.
Wait,
Apoptosis.
That's what I said. Apoptosis.
Apoptosis. Got it.
So
Okay.
it's toe. The TO is pronounced toe.
Yeah.
So apoptosis.
Hard A, soft O, hard O. Cis. I guess that's a soft I. I don't know. We're starting. Start. I click start.
Selene Pop Tot.
Yes. My other stripper name. Okay, here we go.
Look who's dying now.
Here, I'm gonna actually raise my mic so I can get really close to it for this because I feel like I'm gonna be talking in your ear a lot for this. So.
God,
Yeah.
The sound
I
was
love you.
driving him
I love you
crazy.
so much.
Monotonous?
If you can say half the words.
Monotonous? What the fuck word is it? Is it monotonous? Say my brain said monotonous, and I was like, is that too many words, lettered things? I don't know. Monotonous, muffled thuds were resonating throughout his head with dull pain. The pain was too strong. Nothing. Unbearable. It wasn't too strong. I read that wrong. That's fine. But the sound. More than anything else, he wanted the sound to just stop. Thud. Nevertheless, the knocking sounds didn't end. He knew it well enough, because himself was their original origin. Okay, so I like the text speed scroll through this. I don't have to click twice to see the entire sentence. So that is already impressive because that's already better than a lot of games that I play. Thud, thud, thud. The noise of his slipper was hitting the rear of his desk over and over again, like a huge, fluffy moth frantically ramming against the window glass. He wanted plenty of things. He wanted to pay the rent in this month. not to displease his landlady again. He wanted to finish the script, at least in draft, because the draft is way better than nothing. Something one can work with. And he wanted to sleep. No, not quite that. The problem, a serious one, was that he didn't really want to sleep. He leaned back in his chair and rubbed his shut eyes, pressing his eyeballs until dancing pale lights appeared. Of course, he took the sleeping pills. When a healthy 8-hour sleep gives way to not so healthy 5-hour nap, then a 3-hour eyes shut break. Then goes away entirely. You stop thinking how this will impact your liver. You just want to sleep. You need to sleep, especially if you have already taken an advance payment for the first part of a gig. And the goddamn text won't just write itself. However, if the text could, in fact, write itself somehow, it would probably lose his job. He didn't have any illusions in that regard. As soon as neural networks get smart enough, he and dozens of other ghostwriters will vanish into the morning mist of a new era in literature. He didn't have much of a name or connections, only some skill and a knack to meet the deadlines for the most part. The client was content with this, and he was content with the pay. So everything went well until the pills started failing him. Blam. This time, the tick got too strong. His foot jerked and he hit the board with a very noticeable pain. Seemed like he even heard his toes crack. He muttered a short curse and rolled the chair away from his desk, although he knew. Now that his attention was not fixed on the blank text file, the tick sound should go away all by itself. It's funny how the conscious is detached from the body. He often thought about it, especially while having insomnia. It's like you're working as a team, but your partner starts pulling something. You seem to have common goals, but when all the hell breaks loose, you suddenly are left alone with it, and your partner is more interested in watching the fire than fighting it. In the end, you have no idea what is on his mind. Well, at least you won't be knocking anymore. Good. A small window at the far side of the room flashed white for a moment. A storm? Now that he thought about it, the day was hot. The viscous, stagnant air still filled the room. This, and the barely audible squeak of an overheated network filter. He became sensitive to such things when he couldn't sleep for a long time. Made the entire room seem to vibrate a little. Like a cocoon that's about to hatch. Actually, that did sound like a good time. He rolled back to the table and was about to write that thought down, but paused for the keyboard. He remembered the individual works and the general idea, but the sentence had already slipped away. I am so sorry, I just realized my playlist was on, and that's going to make this entirely kind of weird. So hopefully I caught that early enough that from here on, a little bit more atmospheric. I am so sorry. I just have that on default. Okay, maybe that probably kind of fucked the tone up a little bit, but oh well, we're proceeding. This time, the white light seemed to fill the entire room. Then, a thunderous fell. A thunder followed, resembling a low-gut roar of something large and famished. Good lord. He called to the god way too often for someone who never goes to church. Just a habit he inherited from his mother. A furious pattern of raindrops pounded on his window. There's no way he could work like this. Not now. But maybe it's for the best. Since he was a little boy, he slept well during storms. He had to seize the moment. He groped for a packer of sleeping pills. It's nice to have your working tools at hand. And popped the pills into his mouth and opened the window to hear the steady patter of the rain. Then he went into bed and collapsed on top of his bed sheets, his clothes still on. He could tell by the sound of the water had flooded the windowsill and was trickling down to the floor. He decided that was a small price to pay. He felt a pleasant chill of cloth beneath his cheek. The wavering haze was gradually fading from the room. Yet, the sleep did not come. He tried to take off his shoes, change position, take a pillow over, cover himself, throw the pillow away to the other side of the room. Nothing helped. He just laid there with his eyes closed, though his closed eyelids felt heavy. He knew it was an illusion. All in vain. He's not sleeping. He can't sleep. Okay, that was a shift. Thud. At first, he thought he was imagining things. Thud. 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 Sometimes the knocking paused, but it never stopped completely. The sound came from below, from the first floor. Someone was banging insistently on the door. And with each thud, he could feel the rage building up like a tight knot of pain around his stomach. He is trying to sleep. Is it really that hard to just leave a man alone? At least at night, at least in the house that he pays for, specifically that no one would bother him? He opened his eyes. Easy, just as he thought. Sprang to his feet and ran downstairs. Something was boiling inside him. Halfway to the door, he took a turn to the cupboard and pulled out an old baseball bat. He wasn't likely to actually use it. He asked himself if he would, as he reached for the door handle. No, he certainly wouldn't. But he's angry, and he wants the night guest to learn it. What the hell? The rain was still pouring, or rather, it was actually getting stronger, as his mother would say, and the floodgates of heaven tore open. His mother used to say a lot of things. That was on the list of reasons why he had to rent this overpriced house, where anyone could start banging on the door in the middle of the night. A cat, for example. What the hell? He said it again. This time, aloud. Well, hello. A cat was standing on his porch. She looked like a purebred British shorthair in all respects, except for the color. Okay, what kind of British shorthair is this? Because this is no cat that I have ever seen. Those sleeping pills, are you sure they were just sleeping pills or they weren't something else, man?
They were.
Yeah, this is... Cheshire, what breed of cat are you, and are you purebred?
I'm a Cheshire.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Aside from the smoky gray head, it seemed as She was dropped into a vat of pure white paint, while her lower part was dipped into a black one. Wet fur clung to her rather skinny body, dripping with water. The cat could have probably slipped into the house as soon as the door opened, but instead she froze, as if waiting for a host to say something. Let her in or refuse. Look, the fact that we think this is a cat and she very much looks like a human, I don't trust any of this. Nope, we're gonna refuse. Oh, okay. I guess we're writing our story now. Is he just like hallucinating all of this at this point? It will be raining again soon. Oh, is that? Oh, apparently this is a narrative plot device. This isn't okay. That is an interesting way to do that, I guess. What does that say when I... Is it just saying the same thing, just really fast? I can't see what that says. That is too quick. Oh, it's just the auto skip, save, load, quick save, quick load settings thing going back every time I do that for some reason. That's kind of bizarre. I don't even know what these are. So that's a menu. Apparently I can't unlock. So, okay, guys. I guess I'm just going to let her in because refuse apparently isn't an option. And I got an achievement for that. Rating cats and dogs. Well, I only see a cat, so I'm kind of concerned the dog's going to show up at this point. It was cold outside. Much colder than one might think. He didn't feel angry anymore.
Yay, shiny.
All right, come in. He stepped aside, sprang the doorway. The cat didn't move. So, you don't want to, huh? He was about to say fine then, close the door and go back to the second floor, and lie in a suffocating half-sleep until morning. But he finally realized what was wrong. The bat. He threw it away, aiming for the sofa, but missed. The bat clattered on the floorboards. Cat followed into the darkness with her round eyes. The sounds didn't frighten her. He sighed. Ah, that won't hurt you. Come in if you want. The cat raised her eyes at him. For the first time, he actually saw and couldn't help but admiring how big and yellow they were. The cat's pupils were also large and incredibly round, like 2 full moons in an eclipse. Just as he was about to close the door, for the second time, the cat murmured something and fluttered into the house, butting him with her wet head as she passed by. He smiled. Strictly speaking, at this very moment, his line had ended. If the landlady found out, and he was sure she would, he'd have to look for a new place to live. What, just because you let a cat in? I mean, you already planning on keeping this cat? I don't think just the presence of the cat kicks you out. There are plenty of lonely, bored seniors in the neighborhood, he thought. And they only have 2 hobbies, observing and reporting. The subject and the recipient aren't that important. Well, it's fine. Maybe he'd leave the suburbs. Maybe he'd move into an apartment, since him getting privacy didn't work out here anyways. The rain was getting stronger still. He closed the door.
Gotcha.
The cat explored the house with cautious curiosity, stopping by different objects, as if trying to understand their purpose. Watching that was amusing, so amusing, he even forgot about the rain. When he remembered, it was already spread out, a dark spot of water in the place where the cat clung to him. He pulled the wet cloth away from his body and stared at it blankly for a moment, and then almost groaned aloud. The cat was soaked, so she probably got a lot of dirt in the house. He decided not to turn on the lights. He had enough disappointment for the night. Instead, he went to go get a towel. All right, come here. The cat turned her head to the voice and froze in place. She was examining the TV, a lifeless black mirror of a plasma panel in a lacquer frame that he hadn't even touched since moving in. In the reflection, the cat herself looked black. In the reflection, the cat herself looked black. Okay. She gave him a long, apprising look, and then, with a sudden eagerness, trotted towards him, deftly avoiding the obstacles. He was surprised. Maybe the cat decided he was more interesting than the TV, or maybe she acted out of the respect of her host's will. Anyway, he felt grateful. Finally, someone he can actually negotiate with. What are we even talking about at this point? Suddenly, he thought of how nice it would be to crawl under the blanket with a warm ball of fur. It would surely have helped him fall asleep. As a child, he had a cat. Great, huge, brash, immensely ugly, and equally beloved. He often fell asleep hugging him. The cat's name was Timo, and he faded into the June night many years ago. The cat bumped her wet head against him once more. He thought the cat usually cats usually shake off the water themselves. Usually, but perhaps not always. Hey, easy there, you're all wet. Cat looked up at him with her moon-shaped eyes and murmured something again. Do something about it then. Oh my. He smiled and got to work. He had to squeeze the fur thoroughly, so the towel soon turned into a wet rag. Should he bathe the cat? Doesn't matter. Okay, so if I click doesn't matter again, is it going to tell me I can't do it? Okay, no. Cool. I guess we're just forcing the first choice. Never mind, this can wait. The cat's fur wasn't very long, but fluffy enough to hide her sunken sides. He was once again surprised by how skinny she was. He was even more surprised when he noticed a collar with a small locket. So do you have a home? In this case, you also have some shitty owners, I must say. The cat curled up on the wet towel in his lap, slowly dozing off. Okay, so is he just imagining a freaking human-like cat? Or like, what's going on here? Because...
She's a furry.
So, like, the representation is very much human-like, but the text suggests it is an actual cat. So I don't know if this is an illusion or if the text is just narrating a different story than what he's seeing or what's going on.
Well, the dirty version would probably make more sense.
Well, I mean, we can always go buy that if you guys enjoy this that much.
It's $3. You can spend $3, right?
I mean, people pay a lot more of that on porn or naked pictures or anything else.
I've never spent any money onto that shit.
Yeah, I can't say I have it. Well, sex toys, yes, but porn.
That's different. That's different. I think everybody's like spent some sort of money on sex toys.
You always spend tons of money fucking yourself. I mean, The cat curled up on the wet towel in his lap. He could feel that familiar lulling vibe emerging inside her. It's emerging inside her. Suddenly, he put the towel with the cat on it away. I should get you some food. Let me see what I have. He got up with just a tad bit differently. Nothing he couldn't handle. Still, his body felt unusually heavy and unwieldy. He had to give the cat something to eat. He will lie down afterwards, then hell, maybe he'll even fall asleep. Maybe he should have gotten that cat much earlier. A ball of fur with a pair of moon eyes, with a velvety voice that you can always negotiate with. I love how he says negotiate as a replacement term for telling them what to do. I don't think that's what negotiate means. And that's about it. That's kind of funny. He could have avoided all the suffering if he only had a cat. The kitchen blurred before his eyes. He got to the refrigerator and opened it, squinting from the light, leaning on the door way harder than he was supposed to. If the landlady was around this time, she would have told him exactly. So, don't lean on the door. After all, this is her house and her refrigerator. And everything should be neat and tidy in case she has to move new tenants in. Perhaps the landlady wouldn't have even warned him about the milk. The milk itself was completely harmless. Unless, of course, you're allergic to lactose. But there's always some kind of special lactose-free milk, right? What matters is the bottle.
Out of this.
I am just reading the words on the screen, ma'am. Okay? Apparently it's about the bottles anyways, not the milk. So you could just be quiet.
Yes, well, I'm going to jump off and go to bed because it is 4 o'clock in the morning.
You actually for fuck's sake, George, you're right.
Yeah.
Alright.
You see the fucking time.
I shall be lurking in your stream on my phone and be listening as I fall asleep. If I have wet dreams, it's your fault.
I mean, I hope so. I hope my nice silky narrative voice lulls you to sleep.
That'll be turned down low. Alright. Love you guys.
Maybe.
Bye. Yeah, she made me realize the time. So I actually may have to go to bed.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Bottles, much like cats, can vary greatly, but this particular one was made of glass. If only the landlady was here, she would probably have told him not to touch the bottle, because he's falling on the floor, and bottles might break, and then milk will spill ill, and he'll have nothing to feed the nice cat he found. Or rather, it was her who found him? And very timely, because he was lying on the floor. He had been lying there for some time, and would have been lying still if he hadn't felt the light touch of something hot and rough on his cheek. It was almost like a dream. Although, of course, comparing sleep with fainting isn't quite correct, no matter how you look at it. The floor beneath him was surprisingly hard, cold, and wet. He felt all of those three qualities clearly, and was afraid to imagine what would happen if he tried to move. But he had to move, one way or another. At least to see what's up, because something hot and rough was still sliding up his cheek, gradually creeping up to his ear. And he felt a warm breath. And then a curious bite. Ouch! He jumped up on the spot. A shadow rushed to the side, and then calmly began to lap up the milk puddle. It's supposed to be like some kind of hot depiction of a cat thing. The cat. What are you doing? The cat looked at him briefly and licked her lips. No need to be this dramatic. You were lying around idly. And you're not even a cat, see? Besides, you're soaked in the milk. Well, you're right. I let you down. And I had to get my punishment. I let myself down too. Good lord, now there's cleaning to do until the next event. Like his mother would have said? I'll go get a rag. Stay here and don't ruin what's left of the kitchen while I'm gone. The cat watched him go. A skeptical look. Aren't you the one who's been causing all the trouble so far? He returned with the bucket. The cat was gone. And game. Oh, that's some really poppy music for this. Holy crap. The Theater of presents How to Bake something censored. I don't know if that's censored or just blank. In the kitchen? Oh god, this music is so fucking poppy. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be just like throwing my elbows out, doing like a little jig. Like, what's going on here? Let's talk about extreme shift. And we got some kind of suck puppet here? What the fuck is going on? In the kitchen, something exciting is happening. That must be censored for like the adult version or something. Whoa, you need a blade. Whoa, what the fuck was that? That had to be censored? Yeah, I'm guessing it has to be censored. That is my guess as well. And apparently this is where the dark horror stuff comes in, because we got the glitchy screen and the evil, like, ominous laugh. Did you take the pills? Scratch out the entrails. The Egyptians widely used honey for embalming and preserving food. Later, their recipes were adopted by the Greeks. Oh my god, this is so weird trying to keep up with this fucking music. Ugh. I don't really like it's not bad. That was a huge shift, and I'm not really a particular fan of this kind of poppy music anyways. Also, add a teaspoon of apricot jam, a walnut, and a little cinnamon. Was that like a freaking sitcom laugh track I just heard? Before baking, put a teaspoon of butter on top of censored. Microwave for 5 to 7 minutes at full power. Da, 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 da. Don't listen to them scream. Okay, that was like a zombie head looking thing in the microwave. Okay, now we got blood and sock puppet. Bon appetit! That was like a bizarre shift. That wasn't even like scary, that was just like jarring. The next time he saw her was in a few days. Maybe a week? He always had a bad sense of time, especially when he was immersed in his work. He still couldn't sleep, but at least he was making some progress with the script. It was a narrative game project, as the customer called it, but actually meant do whatever you have to finish on time. Else, forget about the payment. So is this like a, are we actually like narrating the game as we're writing the game inside the game type thing? And so he did. Although he was resentful that got in the way a lot. Oh, your work that you chose to do was getting in your way. Oh, the reason of those feelings was the cat. Oh, dun dun dun. One night with a cat, that's all he needed. He knew how stupid it was, but couldn't help it. He forgave her for the bite almost immediately. That wasn't the thing. He was bitter about how the cat ran away, despite him trying his best to take care of her. She was nowhere near to be found in the house, so he immediately thought about an open window on the second floor. Maybe he shouldn't have closed it. He dwelled on that thought for a while, approached the window at some point, but in the end he decided not to do anything about it. He was hoping, and there was no shame in that, it was the same as you turn up 10 and start eyeing girls, the cat would come back. Wait, what? And then there was no shame in that. It's not like the same as you turn up 10 and start staring and start eyeing girls. What is that even? Oh, some of the sentences in this just come up. I'm not saying they're wrong, but the wording is a little odd. And she did. Was it raining again this time? He had just settled himself on the sofa with some book. Some was the word, as he couldn't remember a thing from the cover, even though he read the title several times. I almost thought this was like another censor, like another way around censor, besides just like a blank barred thing. The symbols were floating before his eyes, and of course, he couldn't make out a word. No wonder, considering he didn't sleep at all. When you think about it, it was surprising he could write in this state. Either way, he was barely following the book, so he wasn't quite as set at all when a fluffy head butted his hand. Hey, I'm trying to read here. And you don't seem to be getting anywhere. The music seems to be like overriding the volume of the speech. Voice volume. All right, let's turn that up and see if that helps. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the music down just a bit because it's a little loud in my ears. I feel like I'm yelling over it. Well, that's much better. What does it matter anyways? Better scratch me right here. He complied. You were absent for so long. I thought you won't be back. Then why did you close the windows upstairs? There's a big difference between expectations and hopes. He had learned that well. Why did you even leave? Did I do anything wrong? The cat stayed silent. I mean, I'm not gonna be bitter about that, sure. We'll go with happiness, I guess. Alright, it doesn't matter that much. I'm happy to have you back. After all, there was no point in a grudge from the start. Nobody gains anything by holding on to small grudges and staying blind to what they really feel. He wouldn't have won anything. It's not a damn lottery. I mean, you sound like you won the lottery. The cat rubbed against his arm. He put the book down and gently placed her on his lap. The locket around her neck, unexpectedly cold, touched his skin. Then he got a hunch. Did you go home?
家なんかないわよ。
I have no home. Well, someone must be caring about you. They put that collar on.
別にただの首輪って場合だってあるわよ。
Sometimes collar is just a collar.
知らなかった。
Don't you know? This time it was him who stayed silent. The cat buried her head in his stomach. Want me to take it off?
別に
No,
私のだし。
it is mine now.
それにこうしといた方が今後何かと都合がいいかもしれないし。
Besides, it's easier this way if I catch someone's eye on the street. He nodded, because if you think about it, that really was a reasonable choice. The cat's fur was thick and smooth, very pleasant to the touch. He wanted to bury his face in it, find out what it smelled like. What she smells like. Do you have a name?
もちろん
Of course.
みんなあるでしょ。
Everything has a name. And what's yours? The cat looked at him carefully, with her big yellow eyes, as if saying, take a guess. But she didn't actually say anything. On her locket there was a small engraving, a crescent moon that was dimly shining in the pale light coming out of the window. Is her name gonna be like Luna or something? Selene? The cat looked up at him. Her pupils flickered into the two moons in the eclipse. Then she rubbed against his arm one last time and stood up, stretching, arching her back.
2階の窓は閉めないでね。
Don't close the window on the second floor. I won't. She left, but the name stayed with him, in and around the house. There's a... Oh, in and around the house. What? Okay. I'm not sure how the name stays with you specifically in that way, but okay, sure. Selene. So hummed the glass, white in the moonlight. So whispered the long shadows of the branches outside the window. Focus on the name, it doesn't matter. I don't really. I mean, it's a name. Nah, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Selene. He wasn't sleeping, but his house was, and its lullaby was woven with one single word. He had a suspicion concerning rats for a while already. At times, something scratched inside the walls, and he becomes sensitive to such things. When he could not sleep for a long time. Faced with these symptoms at the last time, took a flashlight and some stick. Took a flashlight and some stick. The wording on this sometimes, I don't know if it's because it's translated or what, but the sentences are sometimes very odd. And then circled the house for a long time, tapping the walls here and there. He had no idea how to deal with rats. Let me guess, this is where the cat's gonna come in? At least that's what he thought, until he remembered how his mother used to handle this. After Timo had vanished, poison became the weapon of choice. It came to dealing with rats. The kind that should be kept away from small children and pets. Having remembered this, he went out to the hardware store and filled the cart with colorful packages. Then he thoroughly strewed the whole house with bright, deadly pellets that crunched under his feet when he went to get coffee. Don't get that in the coffee. After a while, the sounds stopped. Yet, he could hear them again now. Something was scratching. I'd scratch my mic, but I got a pop filter over it, so I don't think it'd make any noise. It's been a long time, so no wonder. Those pests always come back. That's what his mother would say, and this time he would agree that with her completely on the matter. He considered his options. He had no poison left, and he could not go out to restock. He was completely immersed in his work, and although he was now much closer to the end of the script than its beginning, there was still much to be done. Although he couldn't sleep, he could still work, and would be stupid to lose pace just to go shopping. Besides, he has a cat now. He didn't really own her, of course, but she came to see him, and he always made sure that she ate well. He had to care about her safety. No, poison was not an option. Of course, he considered asking the cat to do the job, but every time she came, the thought just completely vanished from his mind. They had other things than rats to talk about. He told her a lot about his work and sometimes read what he wrote. Cat rarely gave any comments, never refused to listen. He liked that about her. Not only that, of course. Take her scent, for example. She smelled of warm fur, dust, something sweet. This may sound simple, but the smell made her heart ache with sadness and unbearable love. It was the smell of a warm June night in which Timo had vanished, and also many, many beloved cats before and after him. This cat, however, was special. He could feel it, but he couldn't articulate, couldn't find the right words. You're fucking in love with the cat? Like, romantic sexually? What a writer you are if you can't find the words. That's what he would say if he was talking to himself. But he never did such things, even if he couldn't sleep for a while. At least you can work, said the computer screen, flickering in the dark. What, said the computer screen? What? Oh, that music changed in a hurry. But he couldn't. As at that very moment, he heard the thing. Something scratched. This time, the sound was different. He swung around and looked up behind him, then swallowed hard, staring into the darkness. Suddenly, his head cleared. Something is coming, said the computer screen. Careful, said the flat white ceiling lamp. It should be downstairs, said the crumpled bed. Downstairs. The first floor was dark, veiled in slumber, just like the rest of the house. There is no point in turning on the light if you're going to stay in the same room, typing all night. And all morning, all day, and the next night too, unless, of course, the cat comes. And even if he had to go out, he knew the house was perfectly well. He even bonded with it. He needed no light to get out anywhere he wanted. That's why he won't turn on the lights. So, the one who scratches wouldn't know that he knows. He decided so as he went down the stairs silently. So is this window just... Was that window scratched, or is it supposed to be portraying the rain from the first scene that just never got changed? The downstairs was quiet. He listened to the silence for a few minutes, but it sounded unconvincing. Something had started scratching. It won't go away that easy. He knew that for sure. Those pets always come back. He had to arm himself somehow, with a bat, for example. He still haven't put the bat away, so it was lying somewhere in the dark living room. Heavy and reliable. Is he gonna fucking just, like, walk right onto it and fall? All he had to do was reach it before the one who scratches get back to his work. Because if it's a rat, they're gonna get the bat. The rat! Grab the bat! In the kitchen! As he passed the kitchen, a prickly shiver ran through him. As if someone was looking at him from the darkness of the room. Was the sock puppets? Or was the room itself watching him? Either way, he knew better than to turn and peer into the dark maw. If he does, he dares. Something will come out. Something doesn't want him about. He found the bat under the dresser, and just in time, because the next moment he wouldn't have been able to move. Something was scratching in the walls. A new, distincting sound. Disgusting. That had nothing to do with rats. To be more precise, this new sound could not have anything to do with any living being. Screak! 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 A painful spasm passes through his body. He crouched as if someone had hit him in the gut. And then he did something stupid. Stop it! Please stop! I can't take it anymore! But the nightmares didn't end just because you asked politely, or because you really can't take it anymore. He felt like the voice didn't belong to him. Of course, the voice was his own, but he certainly would have never done something like that. You never talk to the one who scratches. Screak, screak, screak! Oh, hello. He'd probably bear it. There were any visible traces left. But there were none. Only the screech here and there. As if something was trying its strength on the house, looking around for something. Looking for him. He regretted speaking out loud many, many times. It would have been better if he had died quietly right there, right here. This wouldn't have solved so many problems. He was leaning against the back of the sofa and quietly whimpering when it went silent. As suddenly as it began. For a while, he continued sitting crooked like a giant fetus, hugging his knees and his bat, and only moved when he really believed that everything had calmed down. Oh, hi. Okay. I was just kind of in my face. It wasn't really scary. It was just like, okay, cool, thanks. Can you get out of my face now? In that very moment, the round metal handle on the back door began to shiver. He didn't immediately realize where the sound was coming from, the soft rattle of metal and glass, but he had a clue. Oh, that, okay, I gotta take my headphones off for a second. I am very tuned to high-pitched noises, but that like scratching sound, kind of equivalent to like nails on a chalkboard, that doesn't hurt me, but it doesn't make me, I don't want to listen to it. It is not comfortable. It is very uncomfortable noise. That's probably the best way to put it. It is a very uncomfortable noise. All right, I guess I'm putting my headset back on. Hold on. I'll just have to bear through it, I guess. The transparent glass on the back door was closed by a thin polka-dotted curtain, and it trembled in rhythm with the sounds. Then the house got quiet. Some force, the same one that beckons to the window on the high floors, called him to look behind the polka-dotted curtain. He knew just one look would be enough to make him lose his mind. But the call was too hard to resist. He hadn't slept for too long. Slowly, as if half asleep, he made his way to the door. He could see the pattern clearly now, so close it was. Small dots, each one quivering. The silent cry, "Do not look, do not look, do not look." He yanked the curtain aside and stared into the darkness with the eyes of a man facing a truck moving at full speed. Of course, there was no one at the door. After that, he decided to always keep that bat nearby. Oh, we're back to the sock puppets. Okay, some random image that I don't even know what I'm looking at. You never got over it, did you? Sure. Whatever you say. Oh, Cap's back.
どうしたの?
Is something wrong? The cat was lying on his lap. Had it been a long time since her last visit? Much longer than he would have liked. I don't know. Something is happening to me, and it's not insomnia. As if I'm missing something. As if something is missing inside of me? I can't explain it well enough, but maybe you know what I mean. The cat was staring at nothing in silence. Something only cats can do, right? Do you believe in ghosts?
なんでそんなこと聞くの?
Why would you ask? I think I've run into something I can't quite explain. That was silent for a
多分
while. Maybe
見方の問題かも。
it is a matter of perspective. What do you mean?
例えば親しい人とかを亡くしたとするでしょ。
That which you've lost, those who you've lost.
で、年月が経つにつれて、そういう人の数は多くなるわけだけど。
The number gets bigger over time.
でも、幽霊になること自体は問題じゃないと思うんだよね。
The struggle is not to become a ghost yourself.
幽霊になる前の時間が大事なんだと思うよ。
Before time, I mean. Something tightened in his throat.
あれ、なんか私、まずいこと言ったかな。
I didn't want to upset you.
だとしたらごめん。
I
全
really
然そん
didn't.
なつもりなかったけど。
I don't want to lose you. Is that possible? The cat looked at him for a long moment. Her pupils, unusually large, looked as black as a moonless night.
耳をちょっと描いてくれる？
Scratch my ear, alright?
最高の歌を歌うよ。
I'll sing you my best song. I like all of your songs.
そうみたいね。
I know,
でも、今回は最高の歌だよ。
but I'll sing the best one. He ran his hand through the warm, thick fur that smelled of dust and something sweet. The cat was smiling at him, lying in his arms. He could feel, with all of his being, the vibrations of another, very different world as they were lulling his body. The next time he heard the one who scratches right beneath the window. Beneath the window, the second floor, to be precise. At that moment, he was struggling with a tough scene near the story's ending. Imagining things is quite common if you haven't slept for a while and did a good job on burning out. So I wonder if the appearance of the cat and the one who scratches is correlating to where he is doing his work at all. Because last time the one who scratches was brought up was when he was having issues with a part in his writing as well. You think you're hearing things as if someone is quietly slurping in the far corner of the room. Just beyond where your eye can see. Or, for instance, as if it's scratching the wall and the brick crumbs are crumbling stuck under his nails, and it's climbing higher and higher. He realized it could all be in his head. So he took his hands off the keyboard and listened carefully. Just in case. It could be that nothing was actually scratching. But his body already knew what was going on. It became cold and stiff, exactly like that house wall. Oh yeah, boy, you do hear it. Why, of course you hear it. Why would you be any different? After all, the one who scratched has finally smelled you, and now he won't back off. Screak, screak, screak! And that's when his nervous tick came in. Screak! Thud! Screak! Thud! What a duo they were! He had to hold his breath to keep back the mixture of hysterical giggles and sobs and burst out of his chest. If they had escaped this he knew. That would have been the end of him. And otherwise, he still had a chance. A pretty solid one. He managed to suppress the tick, that is. The text doesn't work out. Just look away from the screen and wait a little. The tick subside by itself. But what about the case when the one who scratches is creeping up the wall? Higher and higher, and you can hear his nails, and it's so many of them, leaving tiny, tiny grooves in the house cladding. They're very sharp, those nails. Screak, screak, screak! His mother always had fitting prayers ready for every occasion. But this time, this wasn't the right moment to think of it. And he had to try to do something else this time. Even his mother would have been taken by surprise. She probably had to consult a neuropathy forum, as this case sure needs a professional's opinion. Something like, "Greetings. My body hasn't been sleeping for a month, and it already started to get out of hand. He sits in the dark room all day writing his stupid scribbles. And I don't know why he got it into his head that he can write, because after all these years in business, he still has neither name or connections. You know what I mean? And besides, as she always found embarrassing him before getting to the point, besides, he gets awful nervous tick when the one who scratches crawls up the window to scratch a hole in his stomach. What prayer would you like to find appropriate for this occasion? He's really got it to hit this thing with a bat, isn't he? My baby boy won't hurt a fly. He has no guts for that. The first thing he did when the days had worn off was grabbing the bat. Then he pressed himself against the wall in the window, and that was all he could do, for the nails were already scratching very close to the sill. Screak, screak, screak! I'm coming for you, you little whiny boy with no guts. I'm going to scratch a hole in your belly to see if I can find them. He didn't want to see what was under the sill. He would prefer to die than look at it. Screak! The nails struck the sill. He knew there were now black marks on the, and some metal shavings got under the nails. Maybe some of the nails got broken, but the one who scratches doesn't care. It's got so many of them. He stared straight ahead. His teeth were clenched. His saliva bubbled in the corners of his parted mouth. He was weeping without a sound, choking on a silent scream. He wasn't really gonna hit the thing with the bat, was he? Suddenly began to climb over the sill. He tried not to look, but he could still see it. What is that even supposed to be? Oh, I wonder if this is like an optical illusion, but this almost looks like a smiley face or or smile, and it's supposed to be like a face or something, but I think that's more of an optical illusion because I don't actually like, this is just an unfocused blob. I don't even know what the hell this is. Oh, hey, okay, no, this looks like maybe a person body. So that looks like the head, that looks like maybe the torso with something on top of it. I don't know what that glob is. And then here's like an arm. Oh, and here's like a face. Oh, so this is like a pile of bodies with like an optical illusion face in the middle here. I think, maybe. Yeah, this is really hard to see. And it looks like there might be, I mean, it looks like there's an animation here, so there's got to be more than one frame going on, which is causing a little bit of disorientation as well, the way they've done it. Something akin to squishy fingers, or guts with a lot of nails grew on top of each other like small clams. Okay, I could definitely see like the representation of guts, I guess. Maybe that's what I thought were arms, so I'm pretty sure that looks like a body. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking at. In the moonlight, he saw tufts of fur glistening on these finger guts. Just like on a rat's tail. Then he realized two things. Firstly, he got an insight on Timo's gift. The thing is, his old cat constantly brought him something. The prey, those morbid little signs of unconditional love, as he thought back then. But now he figured it out. Things had been secretly throwing out the window in the middle of the night weren't dead mice. Those were small fragments. Tiny pieces of hideous fingers of the one who scratches. Look, Master, this nightmare on our way. I drove it away. I brought you a piece of its flesh, which means you can sleep safely tonight. That's what the cat brought when the owner ruffled Timo's knobby, scabbed head. What in the hell am I looking at? And secondly, he realized with all the clarity, this was the thing that lures cats into the darkness of the summer nights in which they never return. The thing that took Timo away. And now it has come for Selene. He stopped weeping, but is still breathing fast, too fast, drawing air through the bared teeth. Inside, he was boiling with rage. He really wasn't gonna hit this thing with the bat, was he? He was. Damn right he was. He turned his head slowly and stared, eyed wide open, without blinking, as the glistening flesh clambered over the sill. He was waiting. He felt sick, but decided he will throw up later. Right after, he turns that thing into a bloody mess. Looks like it's already a bloody mess. I know you. You won't get her. You won't get anyone. The sounds that came from his throat didn't resemble words, but that was exactly what he said. He charged at the thing and thrashed it. He smashed his fingers, guts, tails, or whatever that shit was, and the bat seemed lighter than a feather. He had never been particularly strong, but now all of his being became pure will with the bat as a point of application. Bloody threads kept bursting out and sparkling around as he smashed and smashed and smashed. He paid no heed to the nails that were trying to get him, tearing his clothes, tearing his skin. He didn't care. He didn't even feel anything. Why did we just go do a scene with tomatoes and chips? What? Why are we showing grocery pictures? Okay. Sorry. Anything but the desire to wipe this thing off the face of the earth. To smash it out of reality. He had to. Finally, the corpse crumpled and distorted, slid off the window frame, collapsing down. It was over. The blood-soaked bat slipped out of his hand and rolled across the floor, leading a bloody, black-red smear. He wouldn't have been able to lift it. He was barely standing on his feet, and drool mixed with blood on his face. He didn't want to look down, because he could feel the wet heat spreading out around his stomach. He knew where that was going. He stumbled to the bed and fell on his back. A hoarse, gurgly breath came out. More than it. The cat, the cum. What the fuck? Happy Dreamland. Okay. Sure. Everybody loves tomato soup. Tomato soup is Devil's favorite food. It reminds me of home. This thing is just weird. Elijah doesn't like tomato soup. Okay, those are some kind of evil faces. Everyone loves tomato soup. Yeah, sure. Okay, that happened. Something changed. Oh, we have something we can click now. TV program. Mr. Jude Anthony Bench. His last name was Bench? Okay, sure. 27 years old, 2 convictions, 2nd-degree assault and battery, and armed robbery of a convenience store. Oh, is that what we saw, like the grocery picture in the middle of the stuff? Was lying on the lawn of the front house of 8 Sycamore Street, looking up into the pink, dawning sky, with his eyes wide open. At the midnight TV, Happy Dreamland. I guess I can click on that and it will go right back to the thing. Although that's nice if you wanted to go back and like look for clues or try to figure out what the hell's going on. So that's kind of cool. 1, 2, and 69. So the 69 must be the adult DLC that they sell for that stuff. So, holy crap, there's a lot of TV shows. This game might be actually longer than I thought it was going to be. Holy crap, I thought this was just going to be a short thing, but apparently it might actually be like quite long. Let me do a quick check here, search to see how long this game is. Free mythic thriller visual novel filled with dark romance and even ... I'm not... A lot of people must not have played this game or something, because I'm not even seeing like a general, this is how long this might take you to beat. I couldn't even find a category for when I was putting in stuff for stream. Okay, well, anyways. I might be playing this more than once. I thought I was just gonna be doing this once. One of his eyes was badly damaged in the fall, but Mr. Bench was not too worried about it. He died a few hours ago. Before that happened, he threw up with something whitish, and the vomit was still foaming on his cheek, resembling a cheap strawberry yogurt because of some blood mixed in. The police was informed about it, and the corpse, not that the fact Mr. Bench could have pulled his dinner and got his pants a little dirty, by Miss Cora, a neat old lady who lived nearby and for the last decade never woke up later than 5 in the morning. But the first one to notice the body was the cat. It looked like a purebred British shorthair in all respects, except for the color. Aside from the smoky gray head, it seemed as if it was dropped into a vat of white paint, while her lower part was dipped into black one. As she passed by Mr. Bench, she smelt the air for a few meters away, more curious than interest. Under different circumstances, she might have actually been interested in him, but the cat already had a special someone. She soared upwards, stabbing her milky white claws into the dark of the tree. The fur above the muscles on the back stood on end. And a few leaps, she reached the ledge and disappeared into the dark gate of open window, second floor. He could barely breathe at the time. But when the cat came back, he felt better. Much better.
何したの?
What have you done? I was defending. I wanted to save us both.
バカ。
You fool. That's right. But I just can't lose you.
もう遅いよ。
It is too late. He wanted to object, say something trivial like, it's never too late as long as they're both alive. But he could not. Did he die and that's why? The cat clung to him with her entire body, sticking her lips his. He suddenly realized that she wasn't, in fact, skinny, more of a wiry and quite strong. Next moment, he felt his flesh tearing apart, and it tore easily, as quite some time had already passed. And with that, everything finally fell into its place. Oh, okay, well, that took a dark turn. He had read about it in some magazine. Feral cats, as Many house ones, if their owners pass away, aren't above eating human flesh if they manage to reach it. But cats are very discerning, careful eaters. Having chosen a corpse, the cat remains faithful to it until it's stripped to the bone. Taking into account that there's also a number of empty sleeping pills cans everywhere, good God, there are too many of them, there was but a single conclusion to make. He died quite some time ago. Turns out that the pills failed him once again. The ceiling of the swinging back and forth, swaying him like a caring mother swings the cradle. That's when he finally noticed it was the kitchen ceiling, and he was not laying in bed, but the floor. Some vague sounds were coming from the outside room, which grew more and more persistent over time. If he knew about Miss Cora's particular discovery, he would have probably guessed the police were already breaking down his door. The cat hurriedly stuffed her mouth, choking, swallowing pieces, without even chewing them. He didn't mind. After all, cat has no home. Should eat well, shouldn't he? Although, he got rid of the one who scratches. The street is still full of dogs and evil people. Even his mother would agree. And his mother never, ever agreed with him. And yet, he still had one question to ask. Say, did you love me? Even a little? For a moment, the cat took a pause with her task and looked at him in the eyes. Her body was shivering. The yellow flap of flesh that occurred to be a piece of rotting fat was trembling in long, sharp teeth. I do. He breathed in her scent. One last time. The smell of her fur, dusk, and something sweet. The smell of carrion. Ending 2 of 6. Okay. So does this start over? Was that it? Okay, so this was a short novel thing. Ending 2 of 6. I'm not sure if I want to play this 6 times, but I don't know if the 6 potential endings have to, like, is that without the DLC or is that including with the DLC? I don't know. That wasn't really as engaging as I thought it was going to be. I mean, the Steam page really talked it up, and sure, it was a little dark. Definitely wasn't mythic. I don't know about thrilling. That almost felt like a demo. But maybe, depending on your choices, it could be a longer gameplay. I'm not sure. But that was different. It was also free, so I'm not really gonna complain about anything. I mean, it is what it was. And I don't typically play these kind of games, so I don't know if that was a good length. You know, let me put my mic down a little bit so I'm not so loud on my mic. I don't know, like, if that was a good experience for these type of games, a bad experience for these type of games. I mean, it's definitely made to... Oh, hold on. We got a computer thing now. September 15th. The bus driver saw me something. He didn't laugh at me. He didn't get mad at the mom, like mom. He even allowed me to play in the bus. I wish there were more people like him. That's it. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is something else. He say, did you love me? He even a little. So this is like actual game script. Oh, is this? Oh, is this like your entire journey? Like with your choices? Or so this is like your playthrough. This is cool. So this is cool. So this is basically like the script for the game. I don't know if this has to involve with your choices or not, or your playthrough or what, but this is still kind of neat. I don't know if any of this is important at all, but having a transcript of a text game actually makes sense. So that's a really cool feature. Does it just keep changing every time I click on it? No, it's just the whole thing and just gets me down to the end. I don't know what the asterisk is. Is that because I got 2 out of 6? I don't know. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff in the recipe, the TV program. So I don't know if it like remembers your choices, or now that you know like what's gonna happen, you pick different choices. I don't know. It's a little interesting. I might play it again. I'm not going to do another run through now because that was an hour and a half of solid text reading, which is really hard to do, especially if you're trying to do it, you know, with some kind of attempt of entertainment. So I might do this again. I don't know. So, but that's it for this right now. So I hope everyone has a good day and or night. And maybe I'll do something later. I don't know. So, all right, bye.